In a small suburban neighborhood, life carried on as usual, with children playing in the park, dogs barking happily, and families preparing for an ordinary day. However, what seemed like any other day was about to turn extraordinary. In one modest brick house, Lucy was lounging on her couch reading a novel when she began to float. She glanced around her living room at the drifting furniture, her mind struggling to comprehend the surreal scene she was witnessing. The sound of her clock ticking, curiously, remained constant. Next door, a little boy named Timmy was trying to reach for his red ball that rolled away, but quickly found himself hovering midair alongside his beloved toy. In his bewilderment, he managed to perform somersaults he had once seen in a circus act, giggling and savoring the curiosities of weightlessness. The scene at the nearby grocery store was nothing short of chaotic. Shoppers in aisle 5 found themselves among cans and cereal boxes, floating aimlessly. A clerk, who had been stacking produce, watched in disbelief as an array of apples performed a lazy waltz above him. Meanwhile, high above the ground, birds flapped their wings in vain as they experienced a strange drift, caught between their instinct to fly and the null of gravity. The sky, usually owned by them, seemed unfamiliar and limitless. As every second ticked by, panic gradually shifted to a muddled wonder. Bicycle riders awkwardly tumbled into the gentle embrace of the air, while ponds displayed aquatic gymnastics, fish basking in the novel absence of gravity. For those 60 seconds, drivers braked hard in their cars, confused and astounded by the peculiar sensation of tires lifting off pavement. In kitchens, chefs turned to unplanned culinary antics as pastas and vegetables danced between stoves and ceilings. In the bustling city of New York, the sun was just setting, casting a golden glow across the towering skyscrapers. On this ordinary evening, people were rushing home from work, children were playing in parks, and tourists were snapping pictures of every iconic sight. Nobody could have predicted what was about to happen. John, a middle-aged office worker with an ever-present briefcase, was navigating the crowded streets. His mind was on the list of chores waiting for him at home, when suddenly he felt a strange sensation in his stomach, akin to the feeling one gets on a roller coaster. Meanwhile, in a high-rise apartment, 12-year-old Lily was doing her homework. She was sprawled on her bed, a pencil in her hand, when her cat, Lacey, playfully pawed at a small ball of yarn. As the yarn rose into the air, Lily realized she too was slowly lifting off of bed. Her heart pounded with a mix of fear and excitement. Across the world, the effects of gravity spontaneously halting were felt universally. In a small fishing village in Japan, fishermen watched in awe as the waters began to displace, the surface rippling upwards in slow motion, releasing the boats from its grasp. Birds unexpectedly soared higher, confused by the lack of constraint, as if the sky were theirs entirely. In a vast and bustling hospital, doctors and nurses scrambled to keep control over levitating surgical instruments and patients drifting from their beds. Someone found the humor in it, shouting, "We're finally rising above our worries," but their laughter was tinged with nervousness. Traffic came to a halt as cars gently drifted off the ground. Pedestrians clung to lampposts and each other in sheer bewilderment. The city was silent save for the rustling of objects unwittingly caught in the invisible current. Up above, the International Space Station observed an unusual flurry of activity, as debris usually falling towards Earth now formed a bizarre celestial ballet, as each piece hung momentarily suspended in time. Exactly 1 minute later, just as suddenly as it had stopped, gravity resumed its pull. Everything that was suspended midair came crashing down. The sense of weight rushed back with a forceful embrace, leaving everyone gasping on the streets, apartments, and fields. Lily found herself on the floor with her books scattered, while John, still holding tightly to his briefcase, emerged unscathed but bewildered. The fisherman watched as the sea settled, and the streets of New York buzzed with the incredulous chatter of everything that had unfolded. In every language and every home, a singular question echoed. What force could command such an incredible phenomenon? And more importantly, would it happen again? The world was left pondering the mysteries of the universe, grappling with the realization of how fragile their perception of reality truly was. Those scientific investigations sought answers. Within personal circles, stories of the minute when gravity ceased became legends, told and retold, each version colored by the storyteller's own experience of that unforgettable floating marvel.